Across India, police are seeing an increase in cases where women have murdered their husbands to pursue new relationships. From the blue drum case of Muskan Rastogi to the honey trap of Sonam Raghuvanshi, these crimes are often defined by a common thread: the belief that a clever enough plan can bypass the law. In 2025, that belief took hold of a family in Nalasopara. After 10 years of marriage, 28-year-old Komal Chauhan conspired to kill her 35-year-old husband, Vijay, a decision that would eventually leave their 8-year-old son without a father. Living in a Maharashtra chawl means living in public. Nalasopara is a working-class neighborhood where families are packed tightly into multi-story blocks. Here, affordable housing comes with a total lack of privacy, making any clandestine activity difficult to hide from neighbors. Despite the constant surveillance of chawl life, the killers believed they could remain undetected by following the plot of the hit Bollywood thriller Drishyam. They attempted to replicate the film's specific methods for hiding a body, convinced that cinematic logic would hold up in the real world. But where a movie script can be polished and controlled, a real-world crime is susceptible to human error. When fiction is used as a blueprint for reality, the variables of the physical world often leave a visible trail. The marriage had been failing for some time, leading Komal to start an affair with Monu Sharma, a 20-year-old neighbor. Monu lived next door, allowing the two to meet secretly during the day while Vijay was away at work. Monu was a high-achieving IT student in his third year of college, having recently scored 95% in his exams. Despite his academic intelligence, he became the primary collaborator in the plot to eliminate Vijay. The affair eventually turned toward financial gain. Vijay had recently received an insurance payout of several lakh rupees, a sum that Komal and Monu reportedly intended to use to fund a new life together. They believed that by killing Vijay and accessing his bank accounts through his phone, they could secure the money and disappear. What began as a domestic dispute evolved into a calculated effort to seize an inheritance. After killing Vijay, they took his phone to access OTPs and bank details. The murder was less a crime of passion and more a cold financial transaction. To hide the evidence, Komal and Monu dug a pit inside the house. When neighbors noticed the construction, Komal told them she was simply fixing a persistent plumbing issue in the bathroom. Once the body was buried and the pit filled, they needed to resurface the floor. To do this, Komal called Vijay's own brother, Ajay, a daily wage worker, to come to the house and lay down new tiles. By using a family member, they saved money and utilized the brother's trust to help finalize the cover-up. Ajay worked on the floor, believing he was helping his sister-in-law with home repairs. This strategy turned Ajay into an unwitting participant in his own brother's burial. He spent the day meticulously installing tiles over the very spot where Vijay's body had been hidden. The plan began to fracture within days. Vijay's brothers grew suspicious when he didn't return calls, and Komal's story about a work trip to Korla was exposed as a lie by Vijay's employer. Eventually, Komal herself stopped answering her phone and fled the chawl. Realizing something was wrong, the brothers filed a police report and entered the empty home to look for any indication of where Vijay had gone. This diagram shows the floor plan of the room. To save time, the killers didn't retile the entire floor. They only replaced a small rectangular patch directly over the burial site. These brand new tiles stood out clearly against the surrounding worn, old flooring. Ajay immediately recognized the specific tiles he had laid. When the brothers pulled them up, they were met with the unmistakable scent of a decomposing body wrapped in plastic. The assumption that a mismatched floor would be overlooked was the critical error. The very tiles they used to seal the grave became the visual evidence that led to its discovery. In Drishyam, the protagonist successfully hides evidence under a police station because he controls the environment. In Nalasopara, the killers were betrayed by the physical reality of their own home and the persistence of the victim's family. Movies can ignore the complexities of evidence and the intuition of those left behind. In the real world, a few mismatched tiles and an unexplained disappearance are often enough to dismantle even the most detailed cinematic plot. The human cost of this attempt at a perfect crime is centered on an 8-year-old boy. He was with his mother when she was finally arrested in Pune, his family life destroyed for a life insurance payout that was never collected. This case reflects a troubling trend where individuals see extreme violence as a more viable solution than the legal process of ending a marriage. Ultimately, looking to fiction to hide a crime only ignores the inevitability of the truth. In Nalasopara, the attempt to live out a movie script ended with a real-life sentence.